Daniana. Daniana? Damn it.
It had like a little Mexican accent to it. I liked it.
Daniana.
Sounds like my mom, kind of.
Your mom Mexican?
No, but I don't miss her.
D, how do you pronounce your name? Idiot!
Okay, for those of you who don't know just what happened, Stewie, I won't say your full name. Stewie just wanted to see the angle of the camera and as far as if he was in it and how much room he had to move. So as he came back, there's a mirror, and he looks up and sees that he caught himself on camera. So make sure you guys peep that back.
We got him, guys. Finally. 2 years doing this, and he's finally got him on camera. All right. D, how do you pronounce your name?
Diniana.
Daniana.
Diniana. There you go. Diniana. Yeah. Most people call me D or Danny for short. It's easier.
Hey, give me some cheers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Party.
I'm excited.
All right. I met you like 3 days ago.
Yes.
So when someone hits you up randomly, or we talked a couple times before about the flags and stuff, but I mean nothing. I mean we didn't know each other at all.
Right.
So it's like when I hit you up, I always wondered this. Like I was telling you before, like what did you think? Like, hey, D, how do you feel like doing a podcast with me? Like what goes through your head? Like you said, like, oh, you
it's
joking?
actually really funny. So when I got the message, I like, is he joking? Like, so when we had previously met, I had talked about how I had fans and vlogs, so I was like, he's totally mocking me.
SD Blitz, Fly Football, check it out.
Oh, really though? And then I had actually had to ask Stewie. I was like, hey, so tell me a little bit about Armando. He does a podcast, and he was like, oh my, yes. And he was like, yeah, he hit me up to do it. And I was like, should I do it? Like, what's the podcast? And he goes, that's comedy.
Yeah.
So, no, I was actually really excited. I was talking to a couple of my friends, and I was like, I think we would be great on a podcast. Only because I just like talk about a bunch of random things.
You're talking like you and your friends doing one?
Yeah. Just one in particular because we definitely feed off each other.
Not her.
Yeah, not we definitely have an audience here today, guys. Just to let you know. So he is very open-minded and intellectual. So he makes you think a lot, and I like to like.
Is he gay?
Huh?
Is he gay?
Yes, 100%. That's
So
crazy. I can't believe you guessed that.
So you should describe like a gay guy. It's like, he's open-minded, intellectual. Feels about right.
He's very, but he's so awesome. And I love talking to him. So I was like, I think we should do a podcast. And it was brushed off. And then 2 months later, you're like, hey, do you want to do this podcast? And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot.
It's that moment.
Yeah.
Do you listen to any other podcasts? Or?
I do. I listen to a couple podcasts.
Which one? Tell me. Break it down for me.
I'm going to be honest. Okay, so one,
it's like a
my first one was Serial. So that was about murder mysteries.
I've heard great things, dude.
I loved them.
And that was only one for one season, right? Or like they did one run through and
then... I listened to one through, but there are a bunch more.
Oh, there are? Oh,
yeah. And it just depends on who tells them. So there's different, what do you call them, podcasters?
Yeah, I guess.
Narrators.
Yeah.
So there's just a couple different ones. But then there was my other one that I listened to is Steve Nash or
Steve Nash? Basketball player?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
go ahead. Interrupt, Ariel Powers.
No, just go ahead.
It's Steve
Harvey.
No.
Steve.
Family Feud.
No.
Steve Madden.
No.
I'll get it.
Steve Madden. Oh my gosh, they're these. They were. What is it? They were Viners, then they're now YouTubers, and they do a blog. They now do podcasts.
You described like 90% of them.
We're narrowing it down.
What is it? They were. You know who they are.
Sorry, I'm not in the podcast.
Okay, no lifeline. No go.
Anyways, I listened to a comedy, and then I'm gonna be. This one I'm a little embarrassed to say.
I want to hear it.
But I listened to them. Call Her Daddy. A lot of people know about them.
Oh yeah, they're on Barstool, huh?
Yes.
I forget I've heard them on a different podcast. But...
Yeah, so I listened to them. It's kind of sad because I agree with some of the things they say, but then the other things I'm just like, you guys are such trash. So it's like comedy it's like comical to listen to them, and then it's other times it's like, okay, that was kind of informative.
What are some things that you agree on? I really have no clue like what they even talk about. Is it like mostly like relationship stuff, or is it just about
relationships, just basically sex, and they talk about a lot of raunchy things, and then their relationships and what they kind of go through, and then how to be essentially a daddy. So, you know how guys call themselves daddies, like, oh, I'm a daddy, or oh, he's a dad. Women just, they think of themselves.
Oh, gosh.
They, yeah, so like, you know what, hey, we're daddies too. We can be just as cocky and confident and
dominant, or
as the guy. So, and then they teach you how to be a daddy.
What's I'm not controversial, but some kind of stand where you like completely agree with them on, like something that's come up or something you think of. I don't know. That might be a tough one to just.
That is because I would have to say they did mention in one podcast, you're too young to be playing games. Like, games are so overrated. And I was like, I do agree with that. Like, why? I like upfront, blunt people. You don't need to be playing games. And that was the one thing that stuck and that I remembered. And I was like, okay, I agree with you guys on that. But then the rest, I'm just like...
trash.
Yeah, just trash.
Is that just like with relationships? Or I mean like a love or romantic relationships?
Yeah,
okay.
More like playing games with, like, mind games. Mind games with guys, girls, vice versa. So they kind of play into both the female and male minds. So some of the time they're right, and then some of the time they're wrong. So it's a 50-50. It depends on what you view.
Yeah, I mean, I just say a bunch of nonsense. So I assume most of the time I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Hey, believe what you believe.
No, but I love. So okay, so you have like the whole podcast experience. You know what you're doing. Know what you're listening to.
I wouldn't say I know what I'm doing. No. This is my first one. I'm currently sweating through my jacket.
You know how to talk. That's all you need. But so like I said, like I always wonder like what do people think, especially like even this one. It's even like it's a weirder situation because some random guy like
absolutely.
Hey, you want to hang out?
Yeah, so I was wondering like what. So when we had met, for those of you who don't know the full story, is Armando does these flags. What?
I'm just going to get the flags so I can show them.
Yes, bring them out. We're gonna represent. I saw for those of you who listen to Armando's podcast, as you guys already know, Danny. Danny has posted about flags, and I was like, oh my god, those are so sick. How do I get some? So if you want to hold up this one.
We're doing a close-up right here.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Terrible quality. But beautiful ladies on it. So it makes up for it. Yeah,
and who the ladies are, probably the... I gotta watch what I say right here. We are part of the SD Blitz team. We got our QB and 2 of the wide receivers. We also have a couple other receivers as well. But these are the girls that I've shared a bond with through the team. And I actually regret doing this podcast with her here.
Don't worry,
cackling in the back.
People will judge.
Judging so hard.
Oh, I just can't talk, but this is my house, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
So, so I saw the flags, and I was like, those are so sick, and their birthdays are coming up, so I was like, I need to get them flags for their birthdays. I thought it'd be like a cool little gift. And once Danny put me in contact with you, we met up that one time to just distribute the flags, and you ended up playing a flag football game with us, and then we went out for dinner after, and I guess in that dinner, what made you be like, I'm gonna hit this girl up later for a podcast?
That's perfect. It was like I told you, it was a bunch of things. Number one, it's hard to really meet, especially in the States. This is the hardest thing. Like meeting girls who play football in the States, like I don't come across. I have some friends in LA who play, but I don't know. I don't play any co-ed leagues like Bobby or anything at all, so I don't really know who plays. So any girls that I come in contact with who play football are down in Mexico, and I speak good Spanish, decent Spanish, but I can't have like a full blown 2-hour conversation with them and like articulate myself the way I would hope to like in a real interview or like real conversation.
Okay.
So that's always tough doing that, and I want to get the female perspective from playing football. And then a couple things you mentioned, the long distance relationship, like I said, that was super interesting to me. The weirdest thing was the fact that you said you want to work HR for Disney Corp.
Yeah.
I was
oh my
like-
God, you remember that?
No, I
That's
was
so
like,
awesome.
that's way too specific of a position. I was like, I have to dig into that, but like I said, there's 20 people. We're having
As my Disney puzzle
yeah,
is out right now.
it's perfect. But things like that, and then at the end of the day, I've always been super attracted to Middle Eastern women.
Mm-hmm.
So without making that without making that weird, like that was 100%. Like you just caught my eye, so I was like, after that, I was like, okay, like she's a perfect
Candidate.
and you talk out of your ass like for days.
Whoa,
so
whoa.
So it was just perfect, and when you said yeah, I was like, oh, let's do this, dude.
Yeah, I was stoked. What do we want to get into now for our viewers?
I love your professionalism. I love this. Dude, how did you even get started like playing football? Like first off, that's probably the first thing.
Wow. Okay. So, I've always grown up around sports, and I was always a tomboy as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say just over the past maybe when I graduated high school.
You became more dainty?
Yeah, a little bit more feminine. Absolutely. And I have to give that out to my girlfriends who were the more like feminine one. Were like, why do you dress like that? Why do you like? Could you
wait.
you look more presentable?
Wait. What did you look like? Let's say 17, 16.
Oh man. What was it?
I'll get some pictures, don't worry.
Yeah,
No.
please, yeah.
No. I would go. I actually was talking to Stewie about this the other day. I would show up to school in Nike slides, Nike high top socks, basketball shorts.
No.
Underneath my basketball shorts, I had Sophie shorts, and then I had my Spanx. So, and I showed all
Damn.
3 layers.
Yeah, he had as many shorts as Stewie did in high school.
Okay. It's true, but okay.
And then I wore a sleeve cut shirt and let my sports bra
What's sleeve
show.
cut? Oh,
Like-
okay, the big one.
Yeah, and then had my hair in a messy bun.
Did you get all the black guys?
Oh, no.
We're not touching that one.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore that question. But I was definitely a jock. I didn't like makeup. I didn't wear makeup. My hair was always in a messy bun or in a ponytail, and I wore pre-wrap. Like wore pre-wrap. Yeah, pre-wrap in my hair just to hold my
really?
flyaways. Yeah. So instead of a headband,
Just
I don't know.
pre-wrap it?
Is that a high school thing? I don't know. People.
I've never seen that.
I think it's more soccer players do. And I learned from my basketball girls. So I played basketball in high school.
Okay. Did you play any
Then
other sports or just basketball?
I did cross country and track.
Oh, nice.
And then how I got into football was we did powder puff, which
Okay.
I mean everyone in high school knows what that is. And the roles reverse, which is the football players become cheerleaders, and then the cheerleaders or other athletes become football players. So the football team coached us, and that junior year of high school is when I was like, dude, I love this sport. I want to keep playing it, but I never played it in high school. I was too scared.
Where'd you go to school at?
West Hills High School in
West Hills.
Santee.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
down the street.
Yeah. But I hated the stereotypes people put on girls who did play football. And I think I wasn't secure in myself at the time.
Like, what's the stereotype?
Oh, she's a dyke. Oh, she's
Fair enough.
dyke lesbian. Oh my God, she just wants to get closer. There's 2. Like she wants to get closer to the guys. Yeah, literally, there was no. Oh, hey, she might just like football.
Mm-hmm.
So I was definitely not secure in myself to have people talk and then have me be like, I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
So I never played. And my dad's a physical therapist, and he was like, absolutely not,
Oh,
because
really?
of the concussions and how
Yeah.
dangerous it is.
Smart.
Yeah. So I just did the powder puff for fun, and then I started working at P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
Where-
I love PF Chang's.
So good.
I haven't been there since
So
the
good.
90s.
Like back to how I got into flag. I worked with a couple people that play for Tough and Young Money.
Okay.
And they were talking like, oh, we have a game. You should
Who's
come
that?
watch. I'm not sure if you know him. Turtle. He goes by Turtle or Nick.
I know it's her.
Yeah.
He's been
Adam
on
McCain, who played years
Oh,
ago.
damn.
Yeah. So
Hasn't
back in
had
the
it
day.
a minute.
And they were like, "Yeah, come watch us play." And I was like, "I don't want to watch.
Come
I want
watch
to
us
play."
play?
Yeah, they asked us to come
Yeah,
watch
those
us
are
play.
real ones.
And I was like, "No, I'll come dressed up and I'll come and play." And they're like, "You can't. There's no women on the team." And I was like, "I'm just gonna show up, and if they can let me, I'll go play."
Oh, really? You just
Yeah,
told them that?
I showed up, and there had been a game where they had crushed them.
Yeah.
So it didn't even matter if I was on the field or not.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked the refs, and they asked the team, like, "Hey, can she just get in like one play or
Just
whatever?"
run around.
Literally, can we just let her run out so she can stop talking? And then I ended up playing a game. They threw me a pass, I caught it, and they were like, "Whoa, she can actually catch." So, wow, they want to fact check me right
Okay,
now.
listen. Get your podcast.
This is part of the podcast.
We're having this rain.
All right, ask Turtle and Adam. Go ahead. So, can I get a lifeline? I'm gonna call them right now.
Oh, by the way, your QB wants a shout out.
My QB. Oh no, we haven't gotten there in that part of my life yet.
Alright.
That part of my life.
Yeah, we're back in like 2012 right now.
Sorry, this is probably a really bad podcast.
There's no such thing.
No such thing.
Never had a bad one.
Danny does worse.
So they were just hyping me up, and I got so excited.
Like, hey, I'll be out here next
They're
week,
like,
same
yeah,
time.
cool, yeah, absolutely. And then, I never came to another game. But then Turtle actually hit me up and said, "Hey, my buddy is looking."
Wait, were you just friends with them? Were you like dating on them, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I never dated any of them.
We asked the tough questions.
I just want to make that clear.
I don't care what you heard.
Yeah.
Let's clarify that really quick.
Yeah, no, this was a completely platonic friendship.
Okay, fair enough.
No, they were super good friends of ours. And he had hit me up and said, "Hey, one of my buddies is looking for a girl to play in his co-ed Bobby League."
Oh my god, it's so garlicky.
Oh, very garlicky. Did you not hear me as you walked away when I first had one? Should I mix it? Did I mix it or
I should just stay out the
balance it out with some cheese and crackers?
Are we still in frame? We good?
Yeah, I was just seeing if Joey was in frame.
Is he in it?
No.
Aw. Am I in it?
No.
Ariel, there's a mirror right there.
I mean, I don't care that much.
So I was like, yeah, absolutely. I would totally want to play What's Bobby. And I didn't even know what Bobby was. I didn't even know there was an organization.
Wait, who actually initially?
Turtle.
Okay.
And said, "Hey, I'm going to put you in contact with one of my friends who's on the team." And it was with Stewie and Corey.
Mm-hmm.
So I played like years ago with them. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to come back and play?" And we just kept playing season after season. And then we kind of took a hiatus. Stewie, for how long?
That was probably for like 3 years, 4 years.
Really?
Oh, you guys didn't play at all?
Because it was my
Yeah, she tricked your ass.
I did, but...
it was my work league.
Oh, yeah. So that's how I started with his, that league. And then it wasn't until, I want to say last year, where Corey is like, "Hey, we're getting a team together. Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Yes, 100%.
Been waiting for this.
Yeah, I was like, I've been preparing. So I ended up joining a league with Corey, who put me in contact with with a different community, like a different group of people. Like it wasn't just Stevie's work league. It was a whole,
Everyone.
brand new, group of people. And one of the girls actually on the team plays for so many other teams, gets us involved in tournaments now, and put herself in charge and captain of SD Blitz.
Is that Brittany?
Yes. So Brittany, is it Torian? How do you
B-Tour.
B-Tour, but how do you say her last name?
Torian?
I don't know. She's Filipino, so it's probably not
She's Filipino.
It's not the Spanish version of Torian.
Close enough. They're like the same thing.
Yeah. And then it just snowballed after that. Like, we started, like, joining tournaments. I invited Ariel out to play.
Oh, she had told you initially? Like, hey, come out, hang out, play.
Yeah, in the Turkey Bowl.
Yeah. Do you want me to get my trophy?
No, you can leave that there.
God.
She wants to be in this podcast
No,
so fast. Ariel, come in camera. Let's scoot up. We'll make room.
Oh, shoot.
My MVP trophy.
Really, that's what it was.
I
She won the
completely
MVP. And
she's much of a jerk as he is. Oh, okay.
it was raining. That's why he didn't play.
No, it's my hamstring.
Oh, because he doesn't stretch.
So,
So, yeah, and that's how it progressed into this big where we started just constantly like putting ourselves in tournament, and we are currently going to be going to hopefully Mexico June 8th and 9th to play down there for the first time.
Oh man.
So
I'm thinking like, what do you guys imagine that weekend looking like?
different. It's going to be completely different. The culture, the environment, the people, and I guess I'm going to say the rules because Stewie had mentioned it's a different set of rules.
You can't
than
even
what
look
we
at
play.
a person wrong. Look through a fly on you.
I'm not even trying to. But yeah, because we had just played our first contact tournament. So I started off with Vavi, which was literally you can't touch the person.
Yeah.
And then we had to train to learn how to block and
That's
how to get off the
crazy.
line. So it was.
I give you guys props for doing that because that's a completely different game.
Thank you. No, yeah, and I mean I have to thank our coaches who took the time and to train us, explain rules, literally the littlest things that you would not think made a big difference did. So it was just a different ball game to be honest. And then so now hearing like, hey, you have to go back to not contact.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no contact. And what are the other rules? I mean, you can't. Can you not dip?
No.
Not that I know how. I don't know how to dip. I'm not.
I know she threw it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The
Just
person you can.
Yeah, Batas lettuce. The guy who is organizing everything is pretty much my partner with the flags. So he's.
Oh, you guys are dating?
On the side, you know. But so he runs everything down there, and he was like, hey, like I need he literally told me, I was like, hey, I need money for these flights to Cancun in a couple months. I was like, hey, we're about to throw a tournament. So that's how it is down there. Like whenever he needs some money, it's like,
oh really?
Throw some tournament. But he does a good job at it. He'll organize.
So when we win,
is it cash? I think it's cash prize, right?
yes. And then how's even the money?
Okay. Sorry, Josh. 2,000 pesos, which is equivalent to what? $100 maybe. Oh yeah.
Honestly, I'm not there for the money.
I'm just there for my fans.
Love the game.
I'm
Just the love of the game, to be honest.
I'm thinking because like I'm excited to see what you guys think of it and like how you come back from it because I know how Josh and like the rest of my buddies think of it is just like we're going out there to get drunk and
Ooh.
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never played drunk,
That's good.
and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would be a completely mess.
You're-
Absolute mess.
You're a better person than this. That's why. So I'm excited to see what you guys think about it. It's fun. The competition level is real, especially with the women. Like I said, like that's why it's a completely different thing as far as like seeing women play here in Mexico because down there is a freaking lifestyle. Like I don't know how much Stewie has told you about it, but they literally give like college scholarships to play flag football, like for guys and girls. You get full ride scholarships.
Yo, I'm about
like
to be
the
in
biggest-
debt right now. So Mexico sponsor me.
Yeah, full ride scholarships to the biggest schools. They even have like club programs to where they for tournaments around the country and even they're going out to Germany next week.
Mm-hmm.
They pay for everything.
Yeah, Brittany's going there.
Yeah, some of these teams, like these club teams, like they pay for everything: room, board, travel. You just gotta show up. So it's crazy. It's a whole different culture.
They were saying it's
freaking
super-
love football. They love it.
They're saying that they play man, which we have never played,
100%.
and they're faster, so it's gonna be a different pace.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. They can't cover her. They can't cover her. You see your trophy? Look, get the trophy.
For the record, Ariel, who's making these side comments over here, is very, very fast. So Mexico,
It's
when
fast
you
killer.
guard her, good freaking luck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you out there, Ariel, just to humble you. I'm just kidding. No,
Hope we got something to throw to her.
we can cut that out. though, just in case.
Batas play quarterback. Whatever. But yeah, dude, this comes full circle because it's so it's cool. It's so cool, like seeing it on this side of the states because it's not that popular. Like even a couple of chicks I know from Dallas who play the same thing, like all over the world, play around, like super like big in the flag world. It's just like there's no competition like in the states. I mean, it's just not popular. I don't know if it's.
I want to say maybe it's because we started here and we don't know. All we know is literally what the organization was, Vavi.
Yeah.
And from Vavi,
Yeah,
we've branched out to like those local tournaments and word of mouth. But I thought, like, as I'm, like, learning more and playing more, it's so much bigger than what I thought it was.
Yeah, man.
And then I guess international is completely different.
It's like anything else. Like anything you dig into like a subculture. Like there's so many layers. Like you have your PF Chang subculture, your little world there.
You really do.
Your Grand Canyon University subculture. Your
what's up?
But like everything else, like you start looking into any little thing. Like there's a whole world, like a whole community there. So that's my favorite thing about especially the flag football stuff.
I would say that's the one thing I'm super, super thankful for is the friendships that I've built from flag.
Yeah.
Because when I came out of high school, you obviously lose in touch with a lot. I still have my core group of friends. But then you're growing and you're building your own life, so you can't constantly be like, hey, let's hang out, or you're becoming an adult. So when I started playing, I built more friendships, and that was Corey, that was Stewie, that was Brittany, and then her friends, and then her friends of friends. I know, I kind of regret those friendships. No, they're an awesome group of people, and then to play the game that you love with the people you like grew a relationship with, and you just learn to trust those people. Yeah. It's just awesome. So shout out to Corey, my QB, and Bree, my QB.
You're a good person. I never give Sue a shout out.
I never get.
But I love it, dude. I love it because that's exactly what I was gonna ask you. Is like, what's the appeal? Because it's, like I said, it's not that popular. So like, what? Like, why would you even come in there? Like, especially you just showing up to like a game. It's like, why would you even do that?
Is it dead?
No, I think we're good.
Oh, okay. Why I would show up? Honestly, because I love football. I love catching. I love.
Did your brother? You have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a brother. I have a younger brother and an older sister. So I'm the middle child.
Did he play football? Did your parents or anyone?
No, my dad was a soccer player.
Yeah.
My mom was a basketball player, and they played all their lives. And then my sister played basketball. I grew up playing soccer. But as I got older, I was like, oh my god, my sister's so freaking cool. And I hope she never watches this podcast because I will never admit it. But no, as much as like
just admired her.
Oh, I thought she was the coolest person.
Really?
Yeah.
You never hear that from a younger or from a sibling like yours.
No. And I will never admit it, but I absolutely wanted to beat her. And so I quit soccer in the 7th grade and I joined basketball. And if you all better knock it off. I can hear you whispering. Stewie didn't know I had a sister until like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, we saw pictures of her. She's pretty attractive. No?
At Applebee's.
Yeah. Or Corey showed us pictures. No. Sorry.
Can I get a refill?
Yeah, that's right. So you started playing basketball because she played?
Because she played. Yeah. And I thought it was so cool. And I was like, oh, I want to... Literally, that freaking... Is it Bow Wow? Yeah, that's good. There was like, basketball is my favorite sport.
Oh,
Romeo? Is it Romeo or Bow Wow?
Bow Wow?
Hey,
what TV show
it was still Lil Bow Wow.
It was basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble
like
down the court.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so cool.
That's definitely the intro of this. Yeah, I would say that much.
Yeah, I can rap it for you. I got this.
I believe you.
So yeah, and I thought I could do both going into high school, but they're both in the same season.
Oh, that's
so
right,
I was like, okay, well, hopefully, let's see what day the practices are. We can alternate, and then games. Just I wanted to make it work.
You were just gonna make it work, huh?
And thank you. Just leave it open.
Keep the tab open.
So, yeah, my basketball coach was actually excuse my language, a fucking asshole.
I say that.
So yeah, they were just it was an honor to be even playing basketball at the same time as them. Mm-hmm. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
When we would scrimmage them in JV against varsity, it was quite embarrassing, but it was
humbling.
Yeah, it was humbling.
Just looking into your soul. Humbling, or was it just like? Was it like you were playing against celebrities, or like your friends, or I don't know? Like,
no, they were my friends when I was a freshman.
Okay.
It was like the senior group, but they were juniors when I was a freshman.
Oh damn.
But like, I thought they were all stars.
That's how it is, dude. I mean, when you're in high school, it's
when you're young. So I was like, holy shit! I'm trying to play defense against Marilyn Naderhoff.
The
was
whole
this-
name.
Literally,
The
that's
whole name.
she scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Because when she put her head down to dribble, I was like, yo, just go right by me. I'd rather take that than lose my breath. Because she was a powerhouse, dude. Like, no one wanted to guard her.
Really?
No, absolutely not. And there was just like each player had their thing. Marilyn was just, when she puts her head down, she would drive and she would take it to the hoop. Kimmy was a 3-point shooter. She made almost every shot she shot. I mean, every athlete has their off days.
Yeah.
And then you had Mariah, who played the best defense and was quick and was shorter. So like once you even like tried to cross over, instantly would steal it.
Damn.
She was just quick. Then you had Sharika, who was a good post and quick, and she could shoot and take it to the hoop. It was just, they were. I know. Okay. Well, and then you have.
And then you have the other one.
I doubt they're gonna watch this shit, so I don't even care.
The other one.
And then you have Danielle, who brought the team together.
There you go.
She
Good
just-
save.
She was there. You know?
She was that body that you needed.
Yeah.
No, she was strong. She banged around down
Yeah,
there.
no, she did. Like she was. I'd say she was pretty scrappy.
Good word.
Scrappy. But a clean scrappy. Like she didn't get called a lot.
Yeah.
So I would yeah, so those were the girls, and when I had the privilege of moving up from JV to varsity my sophomore year and playing with them, I'm gonna be honest, I sat the bench a lot. Sat the bench a lot.
Been there.
Yeah, they didn't need my skill set with the skill set they had.
Oh, because they still had one more year. They were juniors. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I got to sit at the bench at the Jenny Craig Pavilion basketball court and watch them play CIF and watch them win.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
and that was, I still remember that day. And then our group of girls, and we stopped Warriors, I want to say after the last year of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it didn't continue on really very long.
That just
My year.
That's just a money thing or not interesting? Or?
The mom's kids kind of grew up. So like, okay, well, my kid's not playing anymore.
Okay, so
right?
Like,
Was that what you would say?
I feel like Vivian's group was like the last group that had it because Noah coached them. Like your JV group was like it. They had it.
so it was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah,
So,
but it wasn't.
Nobody else wants to do it.
It wasn't the skill set that the group, the Fab Five had.
The Fab Five, damn.
Yeah, no, they were called the Fab Five. And yeah, so it just kind of trickled down and slowed down after Ariel's group. So the year after me had graduated.
Hey, don't be sitting on my counter like that. Hey, that's clean marble, brand new, or what?
Hey, also watch your head on that light.
Oh, it's pretty close.
Don't be spilling beer in my house. That would be like. You can't do that.
But yeah, that's the start of my basketball career. But honestly, any sport I would choose, I would absolutely choose.
It's football day.
I would absolutely choose football.
That's crazy.
My basketball career ended after my senior year. Okay, anyone wants to know? But that also is my shoulders dislocate.
Both of them?
Oh yeah, doing the
Is that just
simplest
like a
task.
genetic thing or what?
No, because no one in my family gets their shoulders dislocated but me. My
You
ligaments.
just have punk ass shoulders?
Yeah, they're very weak. So, I mean, it probably wasn't wise to say on camera if I'm gonna have these athletes follow me.
You're stupid.
They're gonna use that as my weakness. But yeah, no, I will be watching not the last time. One of the times that it did dislocate, I was watching Netflix and I'm leaning on the couch like this.
Just like that?
And I sneezed. So when I sneezed, my motion in my body went this way, but my shoulder was stable and slid out. But when it slides out,
terrible pain or
it's just a really uncomfortable pain.
okay.
So what I do is I'll lay myself down and I have to roll it back in. And it'll stay in, it'll slide back in, but then it's just sore for a couple of days after. And that's that. Yeah, so I couldn't be competitive at a college level. And I got asked by a community college.
Oh, nice.
But that was it. I was not, I'm not going to talk myself up. I was not good enough to be at that level.
I like your humility.
Oh, God.
What did you do after high school? Did you work? Did you go to school? Were you just taking around, partying? A little bit of everything?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. So when I got out of high school, I thought I knew what I was doing. And I mean,
we all do.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's very common, but I definitely screwed myself over.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't take school seriously, and I set myself back from my group of friends that are excelling and doing really well for themselves. So I don't have my bachelor's yet. I'm working towards it, but it's taken me a lot longer than most. I didn't take school seriously in the sense that I was like, oh, it's just like high school, like. I'm gonna graduate, is what I thought. But
did you go to community college?
Yeah, so I did a Grossmont in Miramar. Yeah, Grossmont in Miramar. I did, and after that, I kind of like took a hiatus for a year because I was taking classes, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm passionate about other than sports.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what were you studying? What were you studying at that point, or is it just like all GEs? Or did you have like a certain track you thought?
My dream my dream job was I always wanted to be a firefighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was very. I don't know what it was. I liked the physicality. I don't even know if that's a word, but I liked the job that it was so physical, and I did not want to be stuck at a cubicle, and I knew that. I knew that's not what I wanted to do. And I loved helping people. And I wouldn't say I'm a people person. I am a people person.
You're definitely a people person.
But I have my moods because there's times where I'm just like, dude, I do not want to talk to humans today. And I can be very hot or cold. I'm either all in or I'm just like, do not fucking talk to me.
I've only seen you hot.
Oh, yeah. I definitely had to prepare myself for this. I almost backed out. I was like, I don't know if I can do this podcast. I'm nervous. But there was a phase where I was just like, I was a bitch. I didn't.
Like
Stewie?
Like to the world?
Not to the world. My friends would be like, hey, I'm going to this party. Do you want to come with? And I'm just like, I don't want to meet new people. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I don't know if it was like a mental thing in my head where I was like, okay, like I don't know what I'm doing in my life. I don't even want to hear what everyone else is doing. I don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. But I just like went through a phase where I was just like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like I didn't want to meet anybody.
A little bit depression or?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. No, I definitely know there was a time in my life where I was really depressed. But I knew that in the end I was gonna be okay. So I just needed to let myself feel what I felt, and then I was gonna pick myself up later on. And I didn't know how long that phase was gonna last. But I took a break from school because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So in that meantime, I was working at Ching's, like I mentioned, for 3 years. And then after that company decided, they didn't want me there, I left and worked as a bartender in PD for 2 years at Moonshine Beach. Yeah, that was fun. And I think at that point...
What's the bartender gig like? Like, is that just...
It was so much fun.
I can't even imagine.
You get sucked in and you don't want to leave. You don't want to leave because it's you're partying while you work. Our facility was a dry facility, and that means you weren't allowed to drink with your customers. So people are like a wet bar.
Yeah.
It's where like the customer's like, yo, like let me buy you a shot. You're super cool. Like drink with us.
Yeah,
some bars allow it.
Every other guy hitting on you.
No. No, and it's just like, I mean, it was fun. It was new and it was exciting, and I was like,
heck yeah.
Okay, cool. Like I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
And the money was just disgustingly good for what I was doing. So I did fine for those 2 years, and there was a point where I had started getting serious with someone who is my current boyfriend now. And I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do at that time. And it wasn't until I got fired from P.F. Chang's and once I started working with a new company. And I noticed the difference in how they treated their employees. And I was like, this company is awesome. And they made sure you were okay. So let's say I couldn't make a shift or I needed something covered. They would help me out. Like, as any employee is like, you need to figure out your shit. You need to cover your stuff if you can't. But whether it's P.F. Chang's, they're like, okay, well, figure it out. If you don't show up, you get fired. Yeah. So it would stress. And if there was, like, obviously a family emergency, they would be understanding about it. But the bar scene was just more, like, relaxed. It wasn't so corporate. Yeah. Even though they are a corporate company, They just were more like,
more homey.
yeah, like let us help you out. Like we'll
Yeah.
see what we'll see who isn't scheduled, and we'll kind of help you.
That's awesome.
So I was like, I want to know who we can hire. Or I want to know the position who hires people and determines who's working for that company.
Yeah.
So as I saw the difference of how people are treated, I was like, I want to be that person. I want to be the reason people come to work for the company I work with.
Yeah.
And I want people to enjoy work and are in a comfortable environment. Because at Chang's, we had a huge lawsuit. And it was a sexual harassment lawsuit. And I was sexually harassed by the back of the house. And it was uncomfortable, but, it wasn't, I'm very like, I'll tell you straight up, like, hey, I don't appreciate what you say and how you say it. But women are timid. Some women, and it was like the whole Me Too movement. Women need that sense of like security and confidence in other women to help them speak out. So once more people started speaking out, or if there was an incentive to speak out, I just don't want to put my employees in that position where they feel like they need that to speak out. I want them to want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And so I looked more into like that job, and I even spoke to my HR at Moonshine, and she was so helpful and explained how she got there. So that's how I started getting into HR. So once I was like figuring it out, I was like, okay, I need to get back into school, and I need to figure out what classes I need to take and how I'm going to take and get there. So I had to start all over. And some of my classes transferred and helped towards my degree. But then it was just a matter of completing them and just getting there and doing it. So it wasn't until one of my last couple of shifts, I had someone
at
come.
The bar.
Yeah, at the bar. I had someone come up and talk to me and say, what did he say? He was a homeless man. He came in. We can't obviously deny anyone, until like they cross the line.
Yeah.
And he just was talking and just saying like the weirdest things. And he was out of his mind. And all I could think about was, I'm so much better than this. Why am I sinking this low? And my boyfriend at the time was like, dude, you need to get out of that scene. You're so much better. You have more to offer. Why are you there? He's like, get out. Like, you're better than that. And I was just like, no, like, I'm fine. Like, I'm figuring it out. Like, I'm still finishing school. This is good money. But it wasn't until that shift I finally realized what he was talking about. Yeah. And I was like, this isn't for me. So I left, and I got...
How long after that did you leave? Like, from that shift?
A month.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, it took me a while because I had to find a second job.
Yeah, for sure.
And then to put my 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
So I now work for a catering company, Brothers Signature Catering and Events, if you're looking for any weddings or any corporate events. And they're an awesome company. It's actually my best friend, one of my best friends, her parents own it. And they were looking for an executive assistant, receptionist, and I needed to get a desk job to get out of the bar scene. So it was like a tit for tat. I'll help you, you help me, just so I can put on my resume, and you guys need this position. And then now I'm currently looking for something in the HR field as far as an entry level, just to help out with HR assistant until I finish my degree. So that's where I'm at now with my work in school. I have a little less than a year and a half left.
Awesome.
So yeah, I definitely, through all this, I've learned that there is no timeline but your own timeline.
Amen. Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so my parents are like, hey, you need to hurry this up kind of thing. And I know, and it was my fault. I screwed myself from the beginning. So yeah, it's just hard to know what you want to do at 18 for the rest of your life.
It is, dude.
And I've changed my mind 4 times. So
that's why before we started, we were talking about like the kids thing. Like, dude, like people change. Like you're changing.
Absolutely.
You're changing every 5 years, every year, every month, every day. Dude, like you're just if you're not changing, then it's like what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like,
you're not growing.
Yeah, exactly. So
absolutely,
it's cool, dude. It's cool hearing that, like the whole runaround of like how your path went from not knowing, like really having any idea which one to do, to like being so damn specific. And that's why the only reason I remembered you saying that, like at Applebee's, I was like, that's way too specific, like to not have a reason.
Yeah, I definitely have a reason for HR. But for choosing Disney Corporation, I'm a huge Disney fanatic. I love Disney, and I was an annual pass holder. I obviously had to cut back on financial spendings, but I was.
How many times would you go in a year when you were?
I tried to go once a month.
Okay.
And then there was times where I went like, okay, maybe 3 or 4 times a month. Week. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was too much, but I would go up for the day. I would just be like, oh, you know what? It's 12. I don't have anything going on tonight. I'm just gonna drive up real quick. I'm gonna have lunch and people watch, and I'll come back down. And that was probably one of my favorite days. I was craving a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato bisque soup at the
where?
Jolly Holiday. I think it's Jolly Holiday. It's the Mary Poppins. No, this is literally on Main Street, at the end of Main Street, before you hit the circle and go into the castle.
On the right, left.
Left side.
Okay.
I think it's Jolly Holiday or Holiday. No, Jolly Holiday.
Okay.
It's the Mary Poppins one.
Okay.
It's Mary Poppins theme, and
bomb.
It's how can you mess up grilled cheese and tomato bisque? But I guess when you're at the Disney atmosphere, it's 10 times better.
Oh, 100%.
The Disney high.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I sat down. I ordered my meal. I ate my meal. I people watched all the families, all the couples, the ones that were in love, the ones that were fighting. It was just so. I love.
And you're doing this alone.
Oh, absolutely. No one's gonna be like, "Hey, you want to go to Disneyland for the day?" No. I mean, unless you have your Disney fans with you.
Yeah.
But a lot of them like had lives at the time, which I didn't have a life. So I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna go to Disneyland." And it made me happy. And so once I finished that, I would get my churro. I would sit down in front of the castle.
Churro.
Yeah, I would watch people a little bit more. Once I was done, I'd go into California Adventures. I'd order my margarita from Margaritaville or a beer.
Yeah, you have it like laid out. You have your game plan.
I would go to maybe like 1 or 2 rides.
I need to go to Disney with you. You sound like
it's so much fun. Oh, so much fun. But I go because I just go. I don't go to go on rides because I've done them all. Most of them.
Really? So you just go and hang out?
I just go and hang out. I eat. I maybe shop over there if I want to. The only rides every time I go and I hit is Pirate. Oh yeah. Well, that's if I won't go on that alone.
No.
It's not as fun when you go alone. But I'll do the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I hate that ride so much.
Really?
No,
I love it.
I take naps.
Okay, so it's like your reboot.
Yeah,
so you need that ride.
Yeah.
You don't love it, you need it.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect it. It was Soarin' over California.
Okay.
But now it is just Soarin'.
Oh.
And so they changed it, and it's to like the 7 continents of the world.
Oh, nice.
And they did Egypt, they did Africa. They'll still do California.
Yeah.
But they go over the entire world.
You just love it?
Oh, it is
I think I've done it like once, maybe.
Oh, stop it. We're gonna go, me, you, Rosella, maybe my boyfriend will want to come. He likes Disney.
Where is he? Where does he live?
He right now is living in Washington.
D.C.? Washington State? Okay.
Washington State. He's there for work. He's in the military.
Okay.
What
branch?
Navy.
Okay.
He's in the Navy. And he will be moving back to California, not San Diego, a little bit more north. We'll be doing 3 hours distance versus a state.
Santa Barbara or?
Ventura.
Okay.
Yeah, so that area.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I was like, if I drive to Disney, just because. Yeah. But honestly, when you pass Disney,
it's
way worse.
LA traffic?
Oh, it's LA.
It isn't until you get to Ventura. Tour is like free again.
Oh, really? Okay, see, I used to drive up to where Six Flags was. Or Six Flags is, I'm sorry.
I went to school in San Obispo.
Okay.
So it's like 4.5 hours.
Yeah,
so
that's miserable. I played a tournament out there.
Did you really?
Yeah, San Luis Obispo is beautiful.
Oh, I loved it. I was there for 2 years. I finished my undergrad there. But it was a good time. Super small town. I was used to this. I went to that.
Yeah. But I hear it's very small.
But same thing, I would drive back and forth on the weekends sometimes.
Oh, that's miserable.
Yeah, it was a long drive. If you catch that LA traffic, it's no joke.
And that's why I would leave. I would leave my house at either 4 or 11 p.m.
Yep, 100%.
4 a.m. or 11 p.m. Any other time,
nope.
You're screwed,
it's a 6-hour drive.
There was one time I left at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And I hit traffic at freaking night. And of course, it was construction, and it was like literally on Commerce. I don't know if you know where that street is. LA people do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was miserable, and I hated it. So I'm dreading the drive, but it's 100% worth it for who I'm making it for.
You crushed it.
Thanks. I tried.